welcome to Robot Pool Party.
I thought you were sleep deprived. I wasn't ready.
Well,
I'm sorry. I should have brought my A game. I brought like my C, maybe my D.
C, D. All right. Welcome to Robot Pool Party. I'm Joe. This is Matt. We're off to a great running start here. And just like before, we have all of the nerdy news that's been coming up in the past week to discuss with you, as well as a few other things that we're just going to kind of jump into.
Totally.
So, why don't you start us off, Matt?
Well, actually, I want to give a special thanks to our permanent camera person, Patrick.
Yay, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick. How's it going?
Hi.
You can totally talk. When I get more money and get a microphone, I'm going to mic you, so you'll be able to be heard clearly. Yeah, you can hear that woohoo. Hear that inflection in his voice.
I know.
Like, we need a third person. We do need that.
Well, once we get the microphone on him, the entire show will be done to the soothing background music of his breathing.
Or, you know what we could do totally? We could, like, set up another camera to watch him so we can picture him. Down at the bottom, we can see all of Patrick's facial expressions.
If you want,
and you can see this one right there, because he was not impressed with that idea.
If you want, I can start breathing heavy now.
Right?
I think it's working.
Just do that the whole time.
I hope the microphone got that, because that was pretty impressive. It's like you practiced that breathing heavy.
Alright, it's getting into a weird place right now.
Okay, let's go to a happier place.
Sensuous Robot Pool Party.
Sensuous Robot Pool. Speaking of sensuous robots, Scarlett Johansson has been officially cast in Ghost in the Shell.
That was a really good transition off.
I know, it was just fate. It's like they wanted to talk about sensuous robots.
Alright. Let's get one thing, I'm just gonna get one thing off my chest before we get into this. I didn't like Ghost in the Shell. I thought it was boring. I thought it was basically like dozens of episodes of people talking about things that would have been so much more exciting to see them animate. But that aside,
I kind of liked it. I liked it.
I don't know. It was anime. I'm not the biggest anime fan, so I'm not a good metric for that. However, I have absolutely no problem with Scarlett Johansson playing Makoto.
I'm a bit I'm ambivalent because one, it's like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of whitewashing casting situations going on, but this is the first female action star that we legitimately have. I mean, I guess you could maybe say Mila Jovovich.
Well, there's other
but
ones.
she wasn't making Scarlett Johansson money.
Well, you could also say maybe she played Tomb Raider, like Angelina Jolie. Like, she kind of had an action.
Yeah, she kind of had an action thing going on for a while.
But not to the same extent that Scarlett has at this point.
No, this is like superhero quality. This is like, for those of you who aren't familiar with this thing, it'd be like, yeah, casting Superman. It would literally be like casting Superman, casting Batman.
Yeah, that's actually a really good comparison. I mean, Makoto's a really big anime character. She's right up there with all the Pokemons and the Yu-Gi-Ohs.
Yeah, and she's a robot.
Yes, she's
She's a cyborg. But I actually I saw this post, and they said that they made a mistake by not casting Rinko Kachuki from Pacific Rim.
I've only seen her in Pacific Rim, and as much as I like Pacific Rim, she didn't do much in it. Like, the script didn't give her a lot of opportunity to actually act. I mean, mostly it was her, crying, because she wasn't a very well-written character.
Because she was just arm candy for who was the pretty boy actor?
The generic everyman.
Yeah.
And any of the human
discount Channing Tatum. That's who that guy is.
Any of the human parts of that movie was completely stolen by Idris Elba.
Oh yeah.
Because the man is just boatloads of charisma
and awesomeness.
Yes. But so I didn't really get much of a good idea of what kind of a performance she would do. Scarlett Johansson, on the other hand, we know she would do a good job. She's a good actress, and I don't even like Black Widow, but I can still acknowledge that she's a good character. I mean, she does a good job in that role. And
Lucy apparently kicked butt at the theater. I meant to go watch it, but I never got around. Yeah.
It was pretty good.
The nerd part of me was irritated at the concept of it. The whole, she uses all percent of her brain. It's incorrect that humans only use 10% of their brain.
Yes.
You would be dead if you only used 10% of your brain. That irritated the nerd in me.
And that was just too much for you.
It was for some reason.
You didn't want to see. I want to see it. I mean, gosh.
I will watch a movie where Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan play basketball in space against cartoons. But that was too much for me.
But yeah, so ambivalent. I'm still looking forward to this movie. I think the idea of a female action star is really going to go a long way in terms of just opening roles
Absolutely.
for women.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, now of course there's always a question of are they going to do it well? Are they going to do the character justice? Are they going to turn her into a joke?
Is there going to be Transformers, which is a very, very reasonable fear to have?
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm more than willing to give it a chance. I mean, it wasn't the worst anime I've ever seen. It was just, I thought it was a little bit dull, but of course making it a big summer blockbuster will fix that.
Yes. Explosions everywhere!
Yeah, there won't be a whole lot of exposition in it. So yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see. So
we reserve judgment to judge.
Yes. Yeah.
We should sigh.
Idris Elba.
You can do that too. I was thinking Scarlett Johansson, but whatever.
I've made my choice. Alright, up next, a movie that I might actually like, made by the director of a movie that I refuse to watch on general principle.
Well, don't keep us in suspense. Tell us what movies.
You have the cards. I'm only allowed to allude to them.
You're allowed to allude to them? Dude, look here.
Oh man, I got all this power.
Mm-hmm. Do you use it wisely, dude?
I can't read.
See, that's what...
Okay, well, the director of Kick-Ass 2, was he also the director of Kick-Ass 1?
I didn't care enough about that series to give it more than a thought.
He turned in a script for Masters of the Universe.
It's pictures were taken, it's been spread around social media, so we're like, yes. Part of me is worried because 80s properties have not been treated the way I would like to have seen 80s properties.
Well, to be fair, they weren't treated properly back in the 80s either. Their first Masters of the Universe movie was not a great experience.
That didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. Dolph Lundgren did not play He-Man. There was no Skeletor that came to Earth. That didn't happen.
He worked with Lieutenant Tom Paris from the USS Voyager. That was one of that guy's. Robert Duncan McNeil. That was one of her. Hey, you don't care. All right.
No, like, because Tom Paris was like a young guy, right? How was he around in the 80s?
He was a young guy in that. He was like the plucky teenager that was swept up in all this mystical stuff.
Wow. Eyes opened.
Mr. Paris, see me in my ready room.
Yeah.
He was like in the human world. He wasn't like part of the attorney and stuff.
I thought you were saying he was Orko or something like that.
No, there was no Orko in that movie.
There will be an Orko in this one, and you know it.
There better be.
It'll be Jar Jar'd out.
All right, so yeah, Kick-Ass 2 director. Again, didn't see the movies because I have an aversion to Mark Millar, as I feel is a very healthy reaction most people should have to him. So, there, bam! One cue card down under my reign.
Oh yeah, is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep score now?
Yes. Next one. I cannot read your writing.
Aha! I take this back. Coo! T.J. Miller, the comedian, a very awesome comedian, has been connected to Deadpool casting. So they assume it's going to be a comedic role. I mean, the movie's going to be wholly comedic, so we're assuming some sort of sidekick.
Maybe Bob.
Dude, there's nerdgasm. This is not cool. Bob, yes, dude, that'd be great. T.J. Miller, of course, was HUD, the one likable character in Cloverfield besides the monster. Like, I wish HUD and Monster like just teamed up and like took on the world.
I wish somebody would have, actually fixed that stupid camera to the floor so it didn't give me a migraine watching it. Man, that was a bad movie.
Dude, that was the found footage thing, dude. That thing is what the kids are into, man. That's why we got Paranormal Activity 77.
Another series I don't give a crap about.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The first one was decent.
I don't like that shaky camera stuff. Like, it just, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old.
No.
I can't handle it.
Shaky camera.
It makes me angrier than I usually am, and I'm usually already pretty angry at everything.
And you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
That general consensus is yeah. But, anyways, next one.
This is actually a quickie. They released the date for Channing Tatum's Gambit movie, 10/7/16.
Not nearly late enough.
There's nothing that I can say that could like top that. That is the most concise description of this movie.
We need to start carrying like markers and pens for me to like make large notes, so I could just have one that says the best projected date for the Gambit movie. Never.
Well, I got a pen right here. Let's see what you.
Well, the pen will be.
Maybe you guys should have a math track.
A what?
We should have a Reiner track. What's up,
Reiner
Reiner?
Like a.
I was gonna
Okay,
say,
did anybody
if
watch?
he just nodded? That's a terrible track because we can't hear him nod. There we go. That's a Reiner track.
That's a Reiner.
right.
Reiner Gambit movie, yay or nay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
but Reiner's a positive, upbeat person.
I like Channing Tatum.
He likes Channing Tatum.
21 Jump Street was awesome.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Oh my god.
But
Souls.
sold.
All right. Reiner approves.
Reiner
I'm sure that Gambit would approve if there was a Reiner movie.
What?
Probably the only one that proves this Gambit thing. Is
Alright.
he even like Cajun at all? Or
I don't know. I don't know anything about Channing Tatum. Just he looks dumb. That's really all I know about him. We need a guy to just stand there with muscles and look dumb. You're like Channing Tatum,
a
Bing.
50-year-old person trying to play a 20-year-old.
We'll always remember him in Step Up 3.
Will we?
Was he in Step Up 3?
I never saw the first one.
Right. How much time do we got?
4 minutes, 49 seconds.
Can you make fun of the Ant-Man movie in 5 minutes?
Absolutely. Ant-Man movie. It's going to be like. Well, I was going to really just lay out the profanities because that's how bad I think it's going to be. Like, I was going to go back to stuff that, like, I heard people screaming at each other when I was a toddler that I forgot in my subconscious. That's how bad I think the Ant-Man movie is.
And that's
going to be.
even after the trailer. You think the Ant-Man movie is going to be that bad?
Yeah, it's Ant-Man. It's
Paul Rudd.
Especially because of the trailer.
I'm going to say I looked at the trailer and I thought it wasn't as bad as it could be. And, but it looks like really trailer-like. Someone who, like, specialized in, like, just trailering the trailer out of the sucker, trailered this up perfectly. And so, like, that concerns me quite a bit. But it looked kind of cool, the stuff that I saw. So, yeah, and it's still Ant-Man. It really is still Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, is that it's still Ant-Man, and Ant-Man is not an engaging character at all.
It's like they could have Fantastic Four with, like, the best actors in the history of the universe, and I still wouldn't care because Fantastic Four.
No, I would totally be into that.
Really?
I thought you were going in a way that, like, we could have Fantastic Four instead of Ant-Man, and I agree. We could have, like, I'd be all for that. I mean, we're supposed to be making Fantastic Four movies.
And the Fantastic Four sequels already been greenlit.
Good, like, make them good this time. How about that? How about that for a crazy attempt?
You know, Dr. Doom's going to be a hacker, right?
Why? It was bad enough that he was the dude from Nip Tuck. Like,
You don't want Hacker Doom, who's I don't even think he lives in Latveria. How do you say it?
Latveria?
Latveria.
His name is Victor Domashev.
There you go.
Alright.
A realistic, gritty Fantastic Four.
Oh, well.
Sigh. Lay sigh.
Let's sigh. Alright, that's your dream thing.
It's not my dream thing, it's this
You
guy's
guys
dream
go
thing.
in
This
the
guy
end.
is not handling reality very well.
Oh, it's yeah.
But, yeah.
You want me to go over it?
You want to go for it?
Alright, we'll go over this. The producer of Arrow wants Batman to appear in Arrow, which is amazing because that's like somebody visiting the dollar store version of themselves. Ever since Arrow started, it was like, hey, what if Batman was on network TV? That's what they've been running with. To the point that, like, they even have, like, scenes that are trying to recreate the Dark Knight trilogy, like with the shaky cam. So yeah, it's not going to happen because they're so protective of the Batman property.
Yes, it's really hilarious that he's even asking. I mean, they have a giant major movie that's literally going to be the crux of the entire DC cinema universe.
And they want
coming
to
up.
slap him in Arrow.
They're not going to stick him in Arrow. Sorry, you could want all you want. I want a Porsche. You know, there are a lot of things that I want that ain't going to happen.
Now, who they should be, like, pushing for a crossover is I want to see in the Flash Sonic the Hedgehog.
That'd be so great because they compete for the rings and the soul gems. Is it soul gems in Sonic the Hedgehog?
Well, Chaos Emeralds.
Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
I'm getting my gems.
I think it was
mixed
some
up.
kind of vague magical gem crap.
I could only get one of those things, dude. The second one was always the hardest.
I got him all.
You got them all?
He turns yellow.
What?
Supersonic.
And he
yeah.
flies.
Yeah, he goes Super Saiyan. He flies around, and people draw weird art of him and put it on DeviantArt.
I don't want to see any of the arts. Supersonic.
It's really
That sounds
really
awfully like I'm at the
weird
bathe
art.
afterwards.
There's even weirder art with like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I don't want to see that either.
Shadow the Hedgehog and Shrek and romantic relationships on the internet. It's,
Oh, God bless you.
50
But
shadows
there
of
is a
Grey.
positive note on this note card.
I'm not allowed to talk about Sonic anymore.
No, I don't want to go where we're going. There's like dark places.
Because sometimes I wonder what the creator of Sonic does when he goes home at night and he thinks about all that horrible stuff on the internet that's his fault.
You don't want to see 50 Shades of Shadow?
All right.
But there has been a confirmed there will be a Supergirl with the CBS series crossover with Arrow and Flash.
All right.
So there is some good positive news right there.
There is. All right. I'll let you give us a lot of your writing.
That's a lot of my writing. But this is one you're going to talk about a lot. Plug that. Plug this, please. Really? Are we running commercials?
Commercials, yeah.
Commercials?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna throw it. Are
Do
you
we get to
ready?
take one?
No?
Well, we don't get to take one home.
Then what?
All right,
how should
we're-
they plug it?
We're going to plug this. The Dancing Baby Groot Pop Vinyl. We're going to plug the heck out of this to the 12 people that watch our video.
Hey, you know what? That's 12 baby Groots right there.
Yes. Yeah, Pop Vinyl.
It's Dancing Groot, and really,
Yeah.
what else do you need? Because like that was like one of the highlights of like, you could show the movie to like anybody, and they would love the Dancing Groot. Like my mom likes the Dancing Groot.
That was my sister's favorite part. Oh, the dancing tree at the end. It's like, oh, sister.
Like anybody from 2 to 88 will like Dancing Groot.
yes.
Yeah, I mean,
So
so
it was really good. I mean, it was, cute CGI, and if you like Pop Vinyl, or just want this sitting on your desk, grab it.
I wish it like had a. Oh no, a sheep!
Oh, now we're plugging sheep? This is getting weird, man. This is getting surreal.
It was a David Lynch. It's a Twin Peaks-ish.
It's getting
Wait! This one wants to talk about Neil deGrasse Tyson's new late night show.
I would like to talk about that, too.
He's getting a late night show on National Geographic. It's essentially just going to be his podcast on TV. But a really exciting fact is that Bill Nye will be getting a 1 minute moment to rant about anything that's bothering Bill Nye.
That would be awesome.
What grinds his gears?
Yes, what grinds Bill Nye's gears?
So, Westboro Baptist Church, that museum, the Creation Museum,
Anything,
et cetera,
anything
et cetera.
that pisses off an actual scientist, well, he's going to get a
I'm
minute
all
to go.
for that. I also think that Neil deGrasse
I like how
Tyson...
you're petting it like a supervillain.
Look, if I don't, this thing could just get furious and kill us all.
He's going to do things other than count to that sheep.
Whoa, kid show. That's...
Wow, looks like we got an opening for a new camera person.
Reiner, you've been promoted from Reiner to cameraman.
Can you handle both? So
Oh.
I don't know if we could pass on a Reiner.
We'll have to get another Reiner off the street. I'll have to do open interviews for a Reiner.
How much Reiner can you be?
Okay, back to Neil deGrasse. He needs to get Triumph, the insult comic dog, on the show. That should just be his announcer.
That should just be everything. Like, I'm not familiar with his podcast. Do you know anything about his podcast?
It's science stuff.
Yeah, I figured it was gonna be science stuff. So, like, when it's his late night show, like, I would really like him to be on a couch with, like, in a smoking jacket and, like, drinking cognac or something.
I would like him to teach us science lessons, but
with
occasionally just go into wild fits of profanity. Just about nothing in particular.
About science.
Actually, yeah, about, like, cosmic entities. About, like, this weird, obscure space dust that just, for whatever reason, just drives him into a frenzy. And he starts flipping tables and setting things on fire.
I'm gonna get relevant by saying there's these clouds of gas that was escaping from this one of the ice planets, ice moons that have liquid underneath it, and all of a sudden these plumes of gas just quit happening, and nobody knows why. So that would be something for him to cuss up a storm about.
Yeah.
I'd be all about that if he could explain why these mother flippin' flumes aren't there anymore.
He's very interesting because he can talk about the most complicated, convoluted stuff and make it so that idiots like me can understand. And that's a rare gift. I mean, so yeah, I'm all for him having more of a platform and a media to kind of speak from. So more power to him.
Yep, it starts in April, so if you have National Geographic, you should totally watch it. I'm definitely going to give it a shot because I like the idea of him in a smoking jacket. That really makes me happy.
I don't think it's going to happen, but you can hope.
I can hope about a lot of stuff.
All right. Okay.
He's going to be complaining about Star Trek: The Next Generation, so if that's a subject that's near and dear to your heart, you might want to leave the room.
I'm gone.
You're gone.
I'm gonna do it in a legitimate way.
Are you recording?
I got.
Are you running?
Yeah.
Awesome.
You want to intro this segment?
All right, here's the next segment, or like our next installment of a new segment that we're trying. It's called Nerd Blasphemy, where we take to town like things that nerds hold up on high, and see where it goes from there.
I am deliciously eager for this one because this is something that I've ranted about in close quarters and darkened rooms for several years.
So it doesn't look like I'm going to be talking much, so I'm just going to start and say that I kind of like what we're going to be talking about, so like...
I like it too.
Yes.
I do sort of like it. I just think it's horribly overrated.
Horribly overrated.
Yes. All right. Star Trek Next Generation is not nearly as good as people think it is. It's as simple as that. Now, and before I get too deep into this, all right, I actually... Reiner, take the sheet. Before I get too deep into this, I want to clarify that I'm not a Star Wars fanboy because that's what people are going to think because I'm crapping on the holy grail of the Next Generation. But actually, I prefer Star Trek over Star Wars because mostly Star Wars is garbage. But when it comes to
lightsabers.
So what? There's Hirogen in Star Trek. I don't know. I just put a random.
What's a
thing.
Herodian?
They're basically a ripoff of Predator. Probably not a good example to throw them out as like an equal in lightsabers. But whatever. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Okay, Next Generation. It coasts on several things. Number one, being the first of the more modern Star Treks to come out. It was the one that brought the series back, and it coasts on the charisma of certain actors. Patrick Stewart is wonderful in it. He's engaging. He's charming. He's a great actor. Now, that said, there's a lot of crap in the Next Generation. And I'm not even talking about the crap that everybody acknowledges. Everybody knows that Wesley's terrible. But what I never hear them say is that Beverly Crusher is the most boring doctor in the entire franchise. What I never hear them say is that, oh, hey...
What about the curly-haired doctor?
That was Pelosi, and she was introduced because I think the casting director wouldn't keep his hands off Gates McFadden, and she was like, "I'm taking a season off until you get rid of this guy," and that's when they brought back Pelosi.
That's creepy.
I know there was some kind of weird sexual harassment thing going on, and that was why it is. But here's some more stuff that people don't... This is going to be a while.
Okay.
You better settle in. I got a lot of gripes against this friggin' series.
So sit down, make some tea, get out a good, like a comfy scarf and a blankie and just get comfy.
Yes. And I'm
I'm going to hang like this.
Do
I look more comfortable than anybody could possibly imagine?
You're going to be sliding down more. We've been going over some of the first episodes, and everybody knows first episodes are always the worst. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. But it's staggering how bad it is. Tasha Yar was a terrible character. Geordi in the beginning, they had no idea what they were doing. Geordi was literally just the guy that was sassy to the captain. There's a scene where they're discussing a big, cosmic entity of what they're going to do, and Geordi's just sitting on the desk like he's the Major from Ghost in the Shell. It's where is the
nice
the
callback to an
and
earlier segment?
Well, it's accurate. He wasn't wearing the bikini like the Major was, but it's just how
great would it be if he was wearing the bikini in this scene?
I don't know. I truly think that all Star Treks, the only one I haven't seen every episode of is the original series because I'm almost afraid to watch it. But I really believe that the other ones, from Next Generation up to Enterprise, are about the same level of quality. People like to say, "Oh, Voyager was horrible because they did ridiculous stuff." Well, so was Next Generation. For every episode where Janeway and Paris turn into salamanders and have sex with each other, there's an episode of Next Generation where Worf turns into a
Triceratops.
Yeah, it was a Triceratops or one of those ankylosaurs and tried to have sex with Jellyfish Troy. There was always those weird random episodes. That same episode, Picard was like a monkey, up in the Jeffries tubes, freaking out. Let's
not forget the episode where they were kids and
it wasn't terrible. I enjoyed that episode for its corniness. But I guess this isn't so much as me trying to take down Next Generation as it is a call for moderation. And of course, more respect for DS9 because
That was a great show.
Yeah, it's. I guess my point is that it's criminal that Next Generation received so many movies after they proved that they're incapable of making a good one, and DS9 didn't get any. But if we go into this,
Okay, talking about like a DS9 movie. What would be a synopsis for it? Quick.
Something with Cisco.
What's he do? Quick.
Cisco comes back from being Space Jesus. And then he's like, here's what's going to happen. Here's what the prophets have shown me. And we advance from there. We advance the Alpha Quadrant into the Delta Quadrant. You know, like we establish stations. There's so much potential there. It's wildly untapped. Voyager would be a little bit harder to give a movie to because Voyager kind of came to a admittedly unsatisfying conclusion, but it did end. Their story came to an end. If you're going to do a movie,
time out. Like, is it too late to ask for spoilers? Because like I haven't seen the end of Voyager.
Okay, I won't spoil it.
No, spoil it for me.
Okay, spoilers for Voyager, the show that ended 15 years ago. They get home.
How?
Janeway from the future goes back in time and helps them navigate this huge part of Borg space to take a wormhole back. And the reason she goes back in time is that even though Voyager got home in her timeline, they lost a lot of lives. 7 of 9 died. Tuvok went crazy because he had a Vulcan illness. And it's just like, it took us 17 years to get home and we lost too many people. Now the cool thing about the final episode is that old Janeway is awesome. She has the sass of an 80s action star and just will not stop firing out one-liners. Like as she poisons the Borg Queen, she just looks at her and she's like, well, looks like it's something you assimilated. Like sunglasses.
And then she snaps her neck.
She's awesome. Like old Janeway was what I wanted regular Janeway to be. But anyways, we're getting off the point that I think Next Generation is wildly overrated, and I think you can find it out, find out for yourself and clarify it for yourself just by asking yourself one question: is LeVar Burton being used to the best of his abilities? And he is not. He is an amazing talent that they consistently put on the sideline and never fully utilize. And I think if you go back to Next Generation and you say, oh, here's another episode where Geordi is doing something stupid, like falling in love with a woman on the holodeck, that isn't real, that's an actual hologram, or just being in the sideline causing trouble because one of his projects just goes berserk. I don't know. He's wildly underused, and
Criminally underused.
I'm getting out of breath because I got a lot of gripes with this show.
But the point is that it's
still
not
a good show.
It's not what the golden apple that everyone places.
That's exactly it. It's not even so much that I want people to not like Next Generation because I have a lot of great feelings about it. Jonathan Frakes is fabulous in it. I just wish that the other franchises got a little bit better recognition, especially Voyager and especially Enterprise, which has always been treated as kind of like the unwanted child of the series. And I think a lot of it's undeserved because it's actually not a bad show. But I mean, I could go on long, humorless tangents about each one of the series because I'm a huge nerd, both metaphorically and physically. But they're going to laugh out of Reiner.
And that's all that matters. We'll cut right there. We'll cut with the Reiner laugh. Alright. So this is our final segment. It's where Joe looks at my comics and rates them. And this is what I got this week.
Yeah, we always say I rate them, but I never actually put any kind of rating system on it. I'm
That's
just
true.
like, this is good, or this is garbage. So let's see if we can figure out a rating system. Okay, first off, we have Iron Fist. Oh, this is that Iron Fist comic that has the terrible artwork.
And it hasn't gotten any better since you made fun of it the last time.
Wow, it really
Look,
hasn't.
steampunk Iron Fist ninja robot.
Wait, what? Yeah, steampunk Iron Fist ninja robot. Should look way cooler than it does. Man. Yeah, wow. This looks like some Sonic art you'd find on DeviantArt.
You're hung up on Sonic fan art.
I just don't understand why so many people want to do things to Sonic yeah, I don't know. Is this finally the end of it?
No, it seems. I think that. God, I hope it doesn't take any longer than it's already going to.
You're way too invested in that.
I just want to see him beat the bad guy up and we can move on with our lives.
$3, $4?
Yeah.
That's 3 or 4 sandwiches. Now, I put measures on things in terms of sandwiches. How many sandwiches those could buy me?
Yeah, and since Thundercloud Subs is having a special on the hot pastrami, I just blew a hot pastrami sandwich on this.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I figured I could get props out of that one.
Yes, the unbeatable Squirrel Girl, #1.
Apparently she unveils her theme song in there. I haven't got there. Don't spoil it for me.
Okay, I can't spoil anything. Okay, the first page I turned to is already fantastic. Yeah, I bet this is just like immensely.
And you know what?
enjoyable.
It's not a one-shot. It's going to be an ongoing series.
Is it really?
I assumed it was going to be a one-shot because I'm like, how much of a story does she have?
It's just so like the art style is neat and she looks great. I like that she doesn't look sexy. Like she hasn't been.
She's kind of got this Fiona vibe going on here.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just like they haven't given her the usual comic book woman treatment, which is fantastic. It almost kind of vaguely reminds me of like a Bee and Puppy Cat style.
Yeah, Fiona
From Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, I got it very cool, y'all.
And
very
we gotta,
cool.
yeah, that's gonna be our metric. Very cool to bogus.
Non-triumphant.
All right, so you got, I guess, 3 Marvel ones because you had another Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, that's DC's fault. I wish they would release something interesting this week, but like, nah.
all right.
Ant-Man #1.
I ain't gonna bother.
By the guy who wrote Superior Photo Spider-Man. And Geraldo says there's a special guest appearance by Beetle, so I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Geraldo lied to you.
What? Geraldo would not lie to me.
Geraldo's part of the Ant-Man
Conspiracy?
conspiracy.
They're like, you must like Scott. What's Scott Lang?
Yeah, I think.
You must Scott Lang before the movie comes out. You must like him.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. No, if it's the same writer of Superior Foes, I'm really looking forward to give this a shot. I wish we had gotten reverse order so you could have so you could have been like, Ant-Man, Fooey, ooh, yay, Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, that would have been great. Then I could have, I could go home without having to punch every wall I see. And
There's a wall right there.
I'm filled with the fury of
1,000 Ant-Man?
knowing that Ant-Man exists.
Like I said, I'm hoping that the magic that was with Superior Foes of Spider-Man shows up in the Ant-Man, and he's like, I don't know, like I don't like the fact that they're pushing the movies down our throat.
Well, that's
It kind of gets. I wish they would release the comics and the movie universes kind of separate, but
well, that was whenever the first X-Men movie came around. That was when they rushed to give Wolverine a backstory because they didn't have one back then, and they knew eventually the movies would get around to it, and the movies would screw it up.
And they did a stellar job with their backstory, right?
No, they didn't. It's terrible. But it was also rushed because it was something he never needed one. Mm-hmm. Everybody was content with Wolverine just being mystery. Mm-hmm. Oh well. And that's, I guess, it for today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again to Patrick, who is our cameraman, and Reiner, who is our Reiner.
He's our Reiner. He's our mascot.
We will figure something out to do with Reiner. We're just not sure exactly what yet.
What if we made like little pop vinyls of Reiner and sold those?
We'll make pop vinyls of Reiner. You can find them here at Dragon's Lair, complete in his Donkey Kong hat.
Or the Kermit the Frog hat.
I like the Donkey Kong hat better.
Or we'll have 2 hats so you can put it with
We're going to have a discussion with
Yeah, you should have accessories like a Barbie doll.
Boba Fett is the best of nothing.
Oh, so we should save a Boba Fett for a nerd blasphemy.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't have as strong feelings about him, but yeah.
People like that guy. He doesn't do much.
Exactly. That's just it. He looked cool.
Look, are we giving away the cow for free? Let's save this nerd blasphemy for later.
All right, you have to tune in next week for Robo Pool Party for why we hate Boba Fett.
Or something else, because we've already picked another segment.
I like
Oh, actually,
Leo for
yeah,
no
or
bad
why-
reason, but at least he did something.
Yeah, we'll save Boba Fett. Next week we're going to have a special guest to talk about why she hates.
I thought we should have kept that as a secret, but whatever.
Well, scratch it. You're the editor. You have the power.
You can just bleep it out.
Why she hates. Tune in next week to see what she hates.
That's actually really, you just cut it there.
Right
Why
there.
she hates. Thanks for tuning in for this week's Robot Pool Party. We'll be back next week. And just do us a favor, if you can hit subscribe, If you post a comment, let us know what you'd like to see or what you thought about what you've seen. And I guess that's about it. Once again, this is Matt. I'm Joe.
And there's Patrick.
Patrick's behind the corner. Reiner went home.
Yeah, Reiner didn't appreciate some of our strong words towards something.
Got a real attitude problem, that one.